Getting a character. Hello, everybody. That was the start of this week's episode.
Why would you do that
of
to us?
Reckless Attack? I am as
I
always.
thought we were making fun mouth noises, and you just start the episode.
Yeah, but we were doing both. That's just it's good things to do.
In the immortal words of the Tick, smells like ambush.
Yeah, well, I think it's just good. I think the people sometimes crave a look at how the sausage is made, and sometimes podcasting is about collectively with a group of friends making weird noises with your mouths. But I am GM Nathan, as per usual, around the table with the excellent players here who make even better mouth sounds that I am so excited once more to roll some dice with and make some goofs with. Starting with the individual sort of to my left, but not directly to my left.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jonathan, and I play Checkers, the Grung Druid, and his trusty frog pals, Mango and Junior. And now that combat is kind of over and we're in this little tense conversation, negotiation kind of thing, Checkers is just staring down Simone, the giant snake creature, just like, what? What are you going to do? Huh? What you got?
You ain't nothing, punk.
Yeah. So we're having a standoff over here in the corner.
Oh God, I'm just imagining in the background and every, like the eventual visual novel that is going to be created from our campaign. Yeah. Just in the background of every single shot is Mango and Simone just staring daggers at each other.
Mm-hmm. And to my left.
Hi, everyone. I'm David, and I play Cascarin Brightmane, the Dwarven Sorcerer. And I think that there is nothing that says that you are on the right side of the law more than a giant 20-foot tall sky whale plushie holding a sword.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, celestially alignment speaking, you have a compelling argument.
Because I mean, what kind of place, there's no better place of power to negotiate from than a literal divine symbol glowing for all to see. That sky whales are pretty good, actually.
It does stay there for 8 hours?
8 hours.
8 hours. Still there.
Unless it drops to 0 hit points. But it's got 47 of them right now, so.
It'll be there for a bit, I'm sure.
And to my left.
Hi, everyone. My name is Steve, and I am playing Selv Asterlin, the Dragonborn monk, who at this very moment does not know that combat has ended. And so there quite possibly could be more great rain of whalers
at any moment
as they plummet down from the skyship after getting knocked off. But he does also have a pretty high passive perception, so maybe Selv will notice that the fighting has stopped down below, and maybe there won't be a rain of whalers.
For any listeners kind of in the future, if you hear dice sounds rolling in the background of just normal dialogue, it is because Steve is also secretly still doing a combat totally by himself.
Yep.
And we are running that simultaneously. And don't worry, we'll catch you up later.
And across from me.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sophie. I play Valeska Carter, the human Astric cleric Astric of the Arcana domain. And Val is trying to turn down her bloodlust and turn on her logical reasoning skills. It's not going great, but, she's trying.
So we find ourselves in a very interesting situation here with all of our various guilders. I would say kind of the one having the least tense time at the moment might be the one who is approximately 270 feet up above everyone. Because Selv Asterlin finds himself in a maybe empty skyship, still tethered to the ground, while the rest of the guilders are still in kind of a standoff with that ship's crew, including, of course, Captain Silvertooth Livingstone, the largest dwarf that you have ever seen. Things have gone strangely. I feel like there's a lot of swings of momentum across the combat that we've had the last episode and a half. But things are paused, at least for the moment. Captain Livingstone locks eyes with each of you. Again, as a reminder, I think he was a towering 5'8", and therefore equally as wide.
He is taller than everyone down here.
Yeah,
That's-
in our party.
100%.
That's-
Yeah, he looms
Whoa.
over us.
Yeah, he's
Huh.
8 inches taller than all of us.
Whew.
Wow.
Hadn't really thought about that.
Actual
Yeah.
head and shoulders.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. When Selv is not a part of the immediate
Yeah,
group,
oh,
that
yeah.
average height plummets.
Plummets, absolutely.
Technically, is he a large creature, given that he can't fit in a 5-foot square?
He's 5'8" by
He's
5'8".
5 foot. He's 5'8".
Okay,
Okay.
guys, we got to go back to the end of the start of the combat because everything would have been different had I known that he's technically 1.5 squares. So, he's glaring at you with his one good eye, still alight with this kind of reddish, very focused bit of light that you can see still traces onto your chests as he looks around at each of you and makes eye contact. At his feet is a magical wand that spouted gouts of flame. Behind him, some of his loyal crew. And he hasn't raised his arms in surrender, but he has his palms out to you all. All right. Let's talk. And the last words, as I recall, or close enough, was something about the Pharaohs.
Ooh, yes.
A very... If there's an organization that can both be extremely well known and also extremely mysterious, it is them. Long story short, they are an organization filled with spies, with assassins, with power brokers generally, who have for centuries and centuries had their nimble little fingers in a whole bunch of pots, including the recent attempted theft of some fire dragon eggs from a certain fire dragon abbey during a certain martial arts tournament. And so he has dropped this on you. He says, if you want more information about what's facing you and yours back at the Red City, I'll share it. But I'll need some assurances for me and my men. And he looks around at each of you, waiting for the next move in what is sure to be a grand chess game.
This feels a little bit silly, but can I make an insight check and see,
Ooh,
does he actually have information?
I think 100% that's a perfect thing to do.
Okay. Because, like, it really is just like, can we even negotiate with him?
Absolutely. And this is specifically if he's telling the truth about
Knowing things about the
knowing
pharaohs.
things.
Yeah, and,
Absolutely.
like, how that would impact the Red City.
Mm-hmm.
That is, my wisdom's not very high, so it's a 16.
That is enough, in
Okay.
fact, actually. It seems like he's got something. I'll put it this way. It's not quite high enough that you're like, oh, he's definitely telling the truth and it's something juicy, or it's nothing. But he is sincere in that he has information.
Gotcha. Okay. And what exactly would you know that the Raven Mounts don't know? That the Red Guard doesn't know? That multiple cities and their best men and women could not figure out, and yet somehow only you have this information. I'm not buying it.
First of all, if your bar for knowing what's going on is the Raven Mounts, you should find better people to supply you your information. We've been flummoxing those people for weeks, months, years at this point.
And yet you're here.
Mm-hmm. And yet I am. The type who may have some information for you. The person who's a skilled enough captain and farer of these skies to stay out of so many nets for so long. Why wouldn't I have information? Hey, boys? And all the various, God, who's even left? The various...
Joe's and Tim's, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Joes and Tims. I'll give a little. Yeah, you tell him, Captain. We believe in you.
Are we at a point where we can like huddle?
So, yes-ish. It's kind of one of those of like, who's watching them? It's just it is on the ground. It is just the three of you guys. It is Checkers / Mango and Val and Kaskrin. You don't know what Selv is up to just yet. It's only obviously been a few seconds, but you can if you'd like them to also be able to huddle, or them to watch you, or them to, not be paid attention to. Whatever you're willing to give up, I suppose.
Val will mind link cast.
Okay. And Checkers will just kind of keep a close eye on the Captain and the Joes and the Tims, because he knows that like there's kind of a communication going on between Val and Cass right now.
Mm-hmm. We probably can't kill them. Morally speaking, at this point, I have never wished for a battle continue, but it would have been easier morally. But now we are faced with a bit of a paradox.
You know, Val, I actually don't think we are. I don't think this is simple, but in Lotros, where I come from, we dealt with ships, we dealt with pirates. I saw the bounties on some of these people's heads, and I saw how long they went on for in their reign of terror, stealing, killing. And I feel like I don't like it any more than the next person, but I think if we let them go, if we don't somehow put a permanent stop to them here, the people who get hurt next time, the people they kill next time, the people they steal from next time, that would be on our hands.
I'm not saying we let them go. I'm saying at this point, there's no law on any books that applies in the area we are in. Like, we, in pirate terms, are in international waters. Agmar does not have jurisdiction here. Lotros has no jurisdiction here. I hate these men and what they have done, but morally speaking, killing is wrong.
I think you have a point, but like you said, there is no law that applies here. If we send them back to Agmar, if we have them fly the ship, if we fly the ship back and drop them off, what's going to happen? They're going to be forced to community service for, not for killing sky whales, but probably for stealing.
I'm sure we could add the charge of killing sky whales.
But still, that's what? Longer community service?
True. Could we call the Raven Mounts?
Yes, but now, again, international waters. The Raven Mounts don't have legal rights out here. We would be sending them back to Deepwood. I think the Raven Mounts have enough to deal with on their hands with the Ultra Giant. I think we have the ability to provide a solution here. This is no different than making pirates walk the plank in actual waters. I mean, sure, we don't see them die, but we all know what happens to them.
Checkers.
Mm-hmm.
You see the captain fidgeting with something.
In the guise of maybe approaching the captain, Checkers is actually gonna go up and say, Captain Livingstone, right?
Aye.
You're the captain of the Skystalker?
Aye.
You don't know me, but I've actually been a huge fan of yours for a while.
Oh, no, you introduced yourselves good and well.
Then you know I'm Captain Checkers.
I had assumed as much, yes.
Well, either way, can I get your autograph? And Checkers is going to pull out his own little hand-drawn Captain Livingstone trading card. He doesn't have a name for it. Like, it's just a captain with a captain's hat. But now he's scribbled in Captain Silvertooth Livingstone, so like he knows who this person is.
Eagle-eyed listeners will actually notice that there was one either bonus or action that Checkers did not take in the last combat, and that's what it was used for.
So he's actually been keeping an eye on the Skystalker for a while now, and he has like sort of little crayon drawings of all the different crew members. So in addition to asking the captain for his autograph, he's gonna go around to just like see if he can match the faces from his trading cards onto the different Joes and Tims. And like he looks at a Craig over there on the ground, he's like, okay, that one's retired.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh, I'm so good at this.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use intimidation?
No, you
No,
absolutely
not
can't.
not with this situation going on.
Just like take an autograph at a knife point.
Yeah. I rolled a 15 on the die for a 14 total.
Don't you have advantage on this?
Not persuasion,
Yeah,
performance.
performance.
dang.
Other per.
Yeah.
Please tell me that you're combining this with a sleight of hand to have them sign confessions.
That depends. How much is it worth to you? We'll sign if you let us go.
I don't know if I can make that decision.
Well, I suggest you get in on whatever weirdness is going on between your other two party members.
Cass, Val, can we let them go? I want their autographs.
No.
He won't sign my card until we let him go.
Too bad.
All right, Captain Livingstone, you drive a hard bargain. But what about you? And I'm going to go over to one of the Joes and be like, you seem pretty cool. And I'm just going to go down the line and just like ask each individual for their autograph, partly to buy time, partly to be like, I actually do want their autographs while this conversation is happening.
Each time you ask and go up to someone, each individual, Craig and Tim, etc., in turn, look at the captain and say, Captain? And he just shakes his head. Not yet.
Val, you're killing me here.
Not yet.
Checkers will break before we do.
Yeah.
I untied them all. I don't know. I
What's that over there? Go. Sign and go.
Yeah, pass without trace on them all. Don't worry about it.
From up above, on board the skyship, you see the head of a silver dragonborn peek over the edge with another large harpoon in his hand and just looking down and seeing that apparently the fighting has stopped.
Yes. You haven't heard any sounds of combat or any other explosions, that sort of thing.
And then looks around and then turns back, and there's maybe the voice carrying on the wind or so, but he says,
Good news for you. There seems to be a ceasefire.
at the crew still on the ship.
They're all dead.
You
Okay.
killed
You
all
killed
the
I
there's
took them
bodies everywhere.
All of them.
The only question is whether there's anyone underneath. But you also
Gotcha.
maybe
Okay.
spoke to them. But yeah, all of the
Well,
Craigs,
that was the okay.
whoever it was.
Yeah, that was who I was yelling the oh good news, there's a ceasefire. Is
You
that-
were yelling to dead bodies.
well, it was to the people firing the cannons,
Right. Yes. Or whatever that was.
But okay, so
You were holding up these bodies
Yeah.
and talking to them as if they were. God, that is
Ooh,
metal.
Self.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So, all right. In that case, Selv goes back and just starts untying the sky whale.
I actually want to try something.
Yeah. Definitely.
Casker and Val have been having this kind of discussion back and forth, and Checkers is going up to, has been like, kind of buying time.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden, Casker gets this kind of like distasteful, kind of nasty look on his face. He goes up to Captain Livingstone, and I'm actually going to try and intimidate him. I don't know the exact wording, but kind of the vibe I'm going for is, what makes you think you can bargain with us? We hold your life in our hands. You should be offering us this information just for us to keep you alive. This is not something you can hold on to. Tell us if you want to live.
Go for it. Give me a roll.
That is a 19 on the die for 27.
The stone dwarf. Yeah, I have little doubt of your ability, or any of yours, to do us further harm. More than you've already done this night. If I didn't think that, I wouldn't be talking to you. And hey, if that's a trade you're willing to make, lives for information. Let me put it this way. There are two things I care about deeply. First is the lives of me and my crew. And second is freedom.
When he says that, that's when the sky whale is seen lifting off the ship.
The baby sky
The
whale.
baby sky whale, yes. As Selv finally cuts the final rope or pries open the final chain.
You see his one good eye dart up, seeing that his catch is gone. And he says, "Yeah, you ask an interesting question. What do I think this information's worth? Life for a life. Ours for what might be yours. And the lives of the people in that city of yours. My people for your people."
So Kaskrin sees the skywell kind of flying away, kind of making its melodious and sad sound. And he makes a comment to Captain Livingstone. He says something like, "You care for freedom, but not freedom for others, only for yourselves."
Freedom, well, it comes down to one's ability to defend it. You all have bested me and my crew. I admit that. And so, I understand my freedom is in your hands right now. I'm free, I believe, to do as I will, at least out here, at least after those ultra giants tore down the walls of the world. People are free to defend themselves, free to explore, free to live. And so I'm asking you, how much is granting my freedom worth to you all?
Val will mind link Kaskrin and say he needs to offer information on the ship and on sky whales, along with the Pharaoh information to be considered.
And at this point, Checkers has gotten staunch refusals from every single member here. So he's like sulking away. But he's going to join the conversation with Val and Kaskrin and just be like, all right, huddle up.
No, to be clear, Val has not left the
Okay.
warm, glow embrace of the sky whale guardian.
Okay.
She
And
is
will
not
not.
bunching up next to Captain
Yeah,
Livingstone
okay.
with the two of you.
And a
I
wand
don't
of
care if he
fireball.
Okay.
drops
You can-
his wand of fireballs to the ground.
You can huddle inside of the Guardian.
yeah,
Yeah.
you could come to Val.
That might be good.
And Checkers will say out loud, not in mind, like,
Yeah.
you know, Val, I don't really like what he's done. But I do like him as a person. He seems kind of cool, actually. Can we keep him?
Like as a pet?
No, I mean, like, he can help us. Right? He has all this cool skyship knowledge. He's a captain of the Sky Stalker. That's pretty cool.
I thought you wanted to captain the Sky Stalker.
I mean, I do, yeah, but think about it. They know how to fly the ship. We could use help with the Ultra Giant, and they would still be free. We could all get what we want.
Captain Livingstone, what do you think of Checker's proposal?
And I get my trading card signed. It's a win-win deal.
So what you're saying is what? I take orders from you? From the Red Guard? I don't get to choose where I fly my ship, where I take my crew?
At least until we defeat the Ultra Giant.
And there would be an eternal ban on hunting sky whales.
Look, I want to be clear. I don't give a dire rat's ass about the sky whales. Take 'em, leave 'em. It's not important to me. They were convenient. Convenient for getting us what we wanted. Money, supplies. Hell, something to do some days. But it's not important to me. If you're saying I get to walk out of here with my crew, some supplies to face what is, let's be honest, low odds of survival in the wilds of Rixia, yeah, you won't find me searching for whales anytime soon.
Val will mind like Cass and say, but what of it? What if we could convince him to take orders from Vina to be a skyship of Agmar?
I've seen men like him dozens of times, hundreds of times. There's nothing we could do that would truly make him be one of us. Listen, take orders, be loyal, without the threat of him stabbing us in the back the second we turn away. I don't think it's worth the risk.
Checkers, what's your insight?
+4.
Yeah. You would note he didn't answer your question. Like, the question of, like, would you serve, would you whatever? He just didn't answer it at all.
Val was going to then directly ask him, is your life and your crew's life worth taking orders from the city of Agmar?
Way we see it, is a life really a life if you're taking orders from someone who you don't trust, who you don't believe in, who you don't care about? Not to us.
I know too, like, I wasn't really part of the conversation between Val and Kaskrin, but Cass, your statement made me think about Checkers' early days with the Golden Tree Guild was very similar to what you described of how do you get someone to sort of join you, to become loyal to you? How can you trust this person? And, Checkers joined the Golden Tree on a whim, right?
Mm-hmm.
He just showed up and was like, yeah, that sounds fun. And over the course of our adventures has turned into, in my opinion, a fairly reliable ally.
Especially on the sliding scale of Checkers.
So I know I'm just kind of interjecting here into kind of this space, but, I'm trying to convince Kaskrin too, like, I kind of like the captain, he has some similar opinions to Checkers and how he behaves. And, if we can actually get the captain on our side, even for just a short duration, like, Checkers and the captain are not so dissimilar that you have to stab the captain in the back right now, right?
Fair.
So think about that.
Can I offer too? I think I know the at least initial first plus answer to this question.
Sure.
Which is, does Checkers feel that way about himself? Or think about any part of that himself?
I think in this moment, yeah. He part of the reason why he's trying to advocate for getting the captain on our side, at least for the short term, is because he sees a little bit of the captain in himself. Like, he cares about his life, he cares about freedom, he cares about, not taking orders from anyone. And Checkers, that is partially the core of Checkers as well. So, he doesn't see the captain as a bad person, just, a person who's living their life, doing what they want. Yeah, they ran across the wrong people in the form of the Golden Tree Guild and are in this situation now. But that's not something you don't have to murder someone for that,
I want to now, I think, offer the captain, give us the information. You and your crew can live. Help us. You and your crew could potentially earn the skyship back. Of like, teach us about the skyship, teach us about sky whales. For all more information than that, the more that's in it for you to, we have missions we have to do. You fly us, you help us, something like that. Because then I think it goes to, like, the captain's point of taking orders from somebody you don't know, you don't trust. Maybe we can, to Checker's point, earn his trust.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
Hey everyone, Jonathan here with the midroll. If you're looking for the hottest frog memes around, join the Reckless Attack community on Discord. You can find a link to it in the show notes of our latest episodes or on our website, recklessattack.com. Want to support the show? Tell a friend, or check out our Patreon at patreon.com/recklessattack, where you can get access to our behind-the-screen talkback show, as well as our new Reckless to Snacks series, where we eat snacks, hang out, and just talk about whatever's on our mind. Thanks so much for listening to us, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the episode.
Captain Livingstone. And Cascarin stares him up and down. Can you give us a second?
We have many seconds ahead. These are, I'd wager, a pretty important next few moments. For me and my crew, we're happy to be patient in the face of overwhelming odds.
Insight check.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 16.
It seems like everything he said was truthful.
And Cascarin will turn around and just kind of gather everyone and be like, okay, huddle up. And-
Val does not take her eyes off
Yeah,
the
yeah.
pirates.
So from the ship, Selv sees Cass trying to gather people together to huddle up. And
No gunfire has happened in the last several minutes, clearly.
Okay. I'm going to basically glide. And so for every 10 feet he drops, he can move 10 feet. And so he can glide down and around. And so I'm going to kind of spiral in and then come to a landing where the skyship is moored, right? So where the rope is attached.
Where everyone else is
Where there's a
gathering.
large sky whale guardian,
Mhm.
and just kind of like falls through that almost and just be like,
What are we deciding here?
Did I miss anything?
yeah.
Anything important happen? No? Okay, good.
Here, listen. Here, take this earbud. Listen to the last few minutes of the podcast.
Right.
So Cascarin is bringing everyone into a huddle.
Yep.
Mango is keeping watch over the pirates with explicit instructions to croak loudly in case if they sees anything untoward at all. And Cascarin is, kind of catching everyone up on what's been talked about so far. And we're trying to decide, what do we do with these guys? Kind of the options we have are we could let them go, we could try to get them to help us, give us some information, or we can make them walk the plank.
Val will now interject. Nathan, before you roll that die, Val has not taken her eyes off of the pirates.
Yep. Mhm.
Val will suggest the working to get their ship back kind of offer of help us, give us more information. First step, give us information for the pharaohs. You and your crew's lives are saved. Then teach us about the skyship, teach us how to fly it, keep earning I don't know. I don't have the reward system built out yet. But
Tier 1 reward.
yeah.
We'll have a whole little chalkboard with stars and everything that they can earn freedom points with.
yeah. But kind of that way. It will be dicey getting back to Agmar, and I'm assuming they will try to get us to not get back to Agmar. Maybe they have to ride in the brig on the way there. But I think that's Val's proposal for now.
So Val, if I understand correctly, you want them to essentially earn their freedom back, right? You want them to fly the skyship for us. You want them to show us that they can be good stewards and good community members, essentially, for as long as we need them to be.
Yeah. Sums it up pretty nicely.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't take it. So
That's fair. I don't I don't anticipate it being a great deal. It seems like a better deal than them walking off into the woods.
And let me tell you what I mean real fast. I'm hearing a lot about what Captain Livingstone cares about. He cares about his men. He cares about freedom. And I have to agree with a lot of that. I don't really think I'm so different from the captain in all of my months here with the Golden Tree Guild, building self-awareness and knowledge and all that fun stuff,
We're really proud of your emotionally intelligent growth. You did great.
Perfect. I'm glad that Val's no, we need to make space for that to celebrate that victory in this moment.
And I think about when I first joined the Golden Tree Guild, I did this on a whim. I did it because I didn't think Cascarin was going to be a very good guilder, and I was going to be the best guilder. Remember that? That was great.
Mm-hmm.
Still think that.
Yeah,
I still think that.
Thus far, hasn't proved me wrong.
No. I feel like the captain maybe can be that kind of person for us. Not just because we're forcing him to as our prisoner, but, like me, I didn't really have anything else to do at the time when I joined the Golden Tree. And I feel like if we can just give him the opportunity to prove himself, maybe he can grow and change the way that I have.
That's my honest hope. I just don't know how to give him that opportunity with us also gaining a skyship to do the missions we need to before the Altar Giant arrives.
Selv is just standing there, mouth open, eyes wide.
I'm super glad. I was going to ask.
And it just staring at Checkers.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of like shakes his head a little bit, closes his eyes, shakes it off, and just says,
That is, surprisingly self-insightful. I'm impressed, Checkers.
You want to see my trading cards?
I made them with crayon.
Maybe on the ship. One other thing to consider is that the captain has clearly held the loyalty of his crew and has their best interest in mind. That is not something that comes through intimidation or fear. I believe he truly cares about his crew and their well-being and has kept them safe for this long, which also leads me to believe that if his word is given, he will keep it. Maybe to the letter of the word and not necessarily the spirit, but that's neither here nor there. But if we can get him to give his word that he will do something, I believe he will do it.
And Kaskrin has just kind of a dark look on his face, and he turns to Selv and says, Selv, these men may be loyal to him, but if we just let them go, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to survive, and they only have one skill set. They're going to pillage, they're going to steal, they're going to hurt people. And Checkers, yeah, I know you see a little bit of him in you. You see that yearning for freedom. You see that he can be something different. And I saw that in you too, back in Lotros, when we first met, when you were doing petty crimes and stealing from people. But you also ran an orphanage. You made me take out a loan so you could buy a building. You also have a lot of good fundamentally in you. And you thought you could be a good guilder, and that's why you are today. But these are pirates. They're sky pirates.
People can only change when given the opportunity to change.
But we don't have the luxury of time. If we could give them months of rehabilitation, if we could bring them to the city of Agmar and help them, teach them to be different people, I would love to do that. 12 gods know it's taken me years to get to where I am. And you've seen part of that journey too, Checkers. But we don't have that time. We don't have that chance. We can take them with us if they're willing to help, if they're willing to fly the ship. We could let them go, but clearly, I think there's problems with that. Or we could do what I've seen done in Lotros to pirates dozens of times. What I know works.
So Checkers looks Kaskrin in the eyes. And he's thinking in the back of his head about what Val was saying with, her proposal about getting information from them, building a framework for how they might earn their freedom, earn their ship back. And in his mind, he's already rejected it. He's thinking the captain would never, follow something so strict, so regimented, much like he wouldn't. But he's thinking about what did work for Checkers all those months ago. How about this, Cass? I'll personally take responsibility for
What? Wait. What?
Again, Selv's mouth is just kind of hanging open.
Say those words again.
I'll personally take responsibility.
Oh my god. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
That was beautifully delivered all around. Hit a lot of highs, a lot of lows. All
This
at
is the
once.
culmination of Checkers and the Golden Tree Guild and all of the work that has gone into this tiny 3-foot-tall frogman.
I'll take responsibility.
I'll take responsibility for Captain Silvertooth Livingstone and his men for however long we need their help to defeat the Ultra Giants. And I'll be sure to keep them on, not the straight and narrow, but I'll make
The
sure
checkers path.
The checkers path.
On the right path.
On the right path.
On the right checkers path.
Correct. Leave it to me.
You see a single tear
Yeah.
go down
Ooh.
Val's camoed face.
And not just because she also was laughing as hard
Yeah.
as we were.
Do you trust me, Kaskrin?
Checkers, you know I do. And of course it's fine. Why don't you tell him that then? Tell him your idea. See if he goes for it. And Kaskrin almost has this like resigned look on his face. It's like such a weird mix of emotions where he's like proud, he's indignant, he's like, Checkers has won. Like, there's no way Kaskrin could be like, no, we have to kill them now. Because it's like, yeah.
I think you've described it almost as like a parent seeing an idealistic kid, right, make a choice that you're
Yeah.
like, boy, I've been hurt by, like, I've seen how this plays out
Right.
a lot of times, and I've become jaded. But man, I'm like, I don't want to be the one to tell you that this doesn't work out because, like, whoa.
Right, exactly. Like, Castron's like, I've seen this happen
Yeah.
before. I'm trying for us not to get hurt. But, like, yeah, Checkers. If you want to take responsibility, go and tell him your idea. We'll see if he goes for it.
Checkers is going to leave the group huddle. And halfway between walking over to the captain, he just turns around and looks at Cass and Val and Selv.
Selv just gives you a thumbs up.
Val will mind like checkers and be like, I'm proud of you.
And he's going to go over to Captain Livingstone and tell them about, what their proposal is. In that Checkers wants them to join, he'll be responsible for them. He wants their help in taking down the Ultra Giants and essentially like being responsible for them and vouching for them.
If Captain Livingstone looks any type of shady, Val is casting Magic Missile at her highest level and obliterating that man.
I am assuming it is
Turning
just
him into
insight
dust.
check after
Yes.
insight check.
Constant vibe checks.
You are summoning additional creatures to give additional insight checks. Yes, understood.
That tiny frog man has grown so much. He's protecting
Yeah.
that tiny baby child.
100%.
And actually, Selv is going to keep an eye on the ship and the cannons to see if they.
Oh, yeah.
If he was somehow communicating, if they like start moving and
Yeah.
and aiming
Like,
at various things.
you guys are high alert. Like, this could go. This by all logic should go badly. Maybe now, maybe later, maybe whatever. So I am assuming you all are treating this moment with the caution and insight and perception required.
The hypervigilance.
Correct. Checkers, you go over to the captain, and the rest of you guys see them talk for a few minutes. And it is in pretty quiet tones for these two kind of boisterous individuals. There's some head shakes, some very business-like gestures with a hook. And eventually, the captain looks over at the three remaining guilders, looks over at his crew, and you can see exactly what he's looking at because he still has the laser pointer eye. Looks back at Checkers, and spits into his hand and extends it.
Checkers will similarly spit into his hand and give Captain Livingstone his firmest frog handshake.
One of the wettest handshakes in Rixian recorded history.
God, it's just like the tiniest frog hand and like the giantest dwarf hand.
It is a ham fist.
Yeah,
in
it
the
is a
warfield.
shovel, but it's a firm one.
And the last thing that the Golden Tree Guild sees from this conversation is Checkers turns around with a wide grin on his face, holding up the trading card of Captain Livingstone with a clear signature on it. And he just yells out, "He said yes! He said yes!"
Double thumbs up from Val.
And that is where we will end this week's episode, everybody. See you
Wow,
next time.
that was tense.
Bye.
Bye. Time out.
Arthur just dropped one.
Arthur farted
So
so
bad.
bad. And he doesn't care at all, hasn't moved just even a little bit.
Yeah, you gotta turn that fan out. We need the
And it's like-
circulation.
It's like I won't say it's the worst dog fart I've ever
It's not a
smelled.
great-
We can open the door. We can air it out. We can
Pretty
air it out.
bad.
Buddy,
Oh,
what did
buddy.
you eat
Oh,
today?
buddy.
It's hitting me.
Oh, buddy.
It's getting here.
Yep.
I'm staying next to
Oh,
the fan.
buddy,
guys
you
can do
should.
it. I'm staying over here.
Save yourself, David. We
Oh
need
my
we
God,
need
it
someone
is- It moved over here. Oh
we need
my
someone to keep their wits about them as we carry on because
Buddy.
we
All
all
right, we can take a 2-minute break to put the room airs out. Oh my god.
something assurances.
Yeah.
But
Assurances, am I
I
right? Arthur?
need some assurances.
God.
it's so
It was like it definitely hit Sophie and I at the same time too.
oh my god.
It was so funny.
What a good boy. What a good boy.